Michaela, Magnus here. I just saw your video on YouTube. Great job on the video. I loved it. Great job on editing as well. If you want to try any other program and do the same thing, let me know, and I'll even help you personally.
Obviously I'm not gonna pass that up. For those of you that don't know who Magnus is, and I'm just talking a bunch of mumbo jumbo right now, he trains a lot of celebrities for their roles in movies. He's trained people like Alicia Vikander, which you already know if you've checked out my Training Like Tomb Raider video that I posted. You can check it out right here. He's trained Gal Gadot for Wonder Woman, Ben Affleck for Batman, James McAvoy for Split, and so many more. But this time I'm going to be taking on the training program that he used for Mackenzie Davis in Terminator: The Dark Fate.
Hey, how are you?
Hello, I'm great. How are you?
I am well, thank you. I'm in my car in between clients.
Yeah, well, I just appreciate you finding time to do this. I'm so excited to be speaking to you right now, so this is incredible, but
Awesome.
I really appreciate
I'm happy to help. I loved your first video, and I'm happy to assist in any way I can.
Mackenzie Davis blew the movie out of the water. Like, she looked just absolutely jacked in it. It was crazy. What goals did you guys have for her physique leading into the movie? Because she really does look like a Terminator, like superhuman.
She didn't have a lot of muscle mass when we started. Her starting point, and then we looked at the characters. Always about look at the character and who you are, or who you are going to play, and what that character needs, the skill set, and what do you want to express. And so in her case, we knew that we wanted someone who looked like she was capable. If that's a good word of describing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Capable.
I watched Terminator: The Dark Fate with my little sister, and we could both only think one thing the entire time. She's jacked. Yeah, like, seriously. Magnus offered to help give me a couple tips before I started the program so that I could complete it to the best of my ability.
Do you know where you are body percentage, right? Or body fat?
Oh, I'm glad you
right
brought
now?
that up. I'm trying to get in contact with my university right now, even though it's over the summer, because they do DEXA scanning. Yeah, I am here at my university's professional building. I'm lucky that they're gonna do a DEXA scan for me today. I'm doing this for credibility because numbers can't lie. Let's go look at the results. I came in a lot higher body fat than I thought I was going to, but then I'm like, have I ever actually had a real measurement of my body fat besides just like scales that don't actually know what they're talking about? And the answer to that is no, I haven't. This is the first true indicator of it. I came in at 22% body fat. Last video I did with this, I gave you guys trigger warnings before individual parts, but I just want to put a trigger warning on this entire video. Or if you have an eating disorder, if you're in ED recovery, don't watch this. This is not supportive of your goals. Just don't watch it. This is an intense 4-week challenge that I'm taking on for fun, to see what I can handle. Don't watch this. This is gonna be triggering for you. My lean mass, 95.4 pounds. Fat pounds came in at 28.5. Total mass, I came in at 129.8. Just goes to show you guys, I train like 4 to 6 times a week, and I still have almost 30 pounds of fat, and that's just because, you know, I eat intuitively, I eat whenever I want, I eat what I want, in moderation typically, but I don't track anything. From here, we begin the challenge, and we see what happens.
Michaela, you're basically a professional skater by now.
After I got my DEXA scan done and I realized there's a little bit higher body fat than I probably would have predicted, I realized my diet probably wasn't as in check as I thought it was. But the diet wasn't the first thing I had to deal with. The first thing I had to deal with was my leg day on Monday.
Look it up, Magnus is here, get up.
Okay, so also looking at the program, I noticed that there is, I don't want to give too much away for people that don't have the app, but there does seem to be a lot of sprinting involved in this one. Now the actual workout starts. Do you have any advice as far as the recovery process when you're doing that much sprinting along with all the weightlifting that comes with it?
Well, the beautiful thing is that I I focus on high intense interval training when it's short sprints, when you go all in, maximum heart rate, and then you rest. So honestly, you will not wear yourself out. It's going to be extremely hard while doing them, but you don't need that much recovery.
It was really intense, and it was not necessarily what I'm used to because I was squatting heavy weight for myself, but it was still in a higher rep range. I was doing 4 sets of 15 reps. It was quite exhausting. A lot of the exercises that I had to do were pretty high reps, but at the end of it, I definitely felt like I had gotten in a killer workout.
How was it?
That was legit one of the hardest but most rewarding leg days I've ever had. I definitely think this program's gonna be really challenging, mentally more than physically. Like, my legs were shaking pretty much after the first exercise, but mentally it was just harder knowing that you have like harder sets coming up, you have jumping at the end, you have box jumps at the end. So it's just like breaking that mental barrier. Hopefully you can work on that. Even worse than that is when you finish your workout and you can't go get a congratulatory ice cream cone. I'm just kidding, I never do that. But it's like I could if I wanted to normally. It's National Ice Cream Day and I can't have any. I need to go home and eat a salad with salmon and pine nuts. Still good, but not an ice cream cone.
Every single set should be work as heavy and hard as you can without compromising on a good form. Make sure that the 2-3 last reps in every single set is really, really hard. You should barely be able to do them. That's, if you want the maximum results in a short time, that's what you should be doing. So push yourself as hard as you can every single set. And that's mentally hard to do.
We're in this, we're doing it, let's go.
Do 17 out of 20 meals on point, which is more 85%. So 85-15 if you want to look at it percentage-wise. Do have a period when you prep for a movie when you kind of throw that balance thing to be a little more strict on that for a while. And so was she. I would love to see you being even more strict than that.
Knowing this is only a 4-week challenge, I knew that I wanted to be as strict as I could possibly be without getting into a danger zone of potentially not eating enough or being harmful to my body. But since it's only 4 weeks, I'm not really worried about any permanent damage. For diet, essentially all that I'm doing is following the nutrition plan that Magnus has in his playbook app. I don't want to give too much away, but if I could give you guys a crash course on it, I am tracking my macros, I am tracking my calories, but those numbers are individual to me. I am not having any added sugar of any kind. I am not having dairy, that's for personal reasons because it bloats me a little bit, I noticed. And then I'm staying away from basically any kind of fast carbs. Kind of my game plan for meal prepping through this is just gonna be to prepare like large quantities of proteins and vegetables. So maybe like a bunch of roasted vegetables, a bunch of chicken, a bunch of salmon, a bunch of like ground turkey. And that way I can just measure it out at meal times and mix and match with what I kind of feel like, because the options are already pretty limited for wanting to be quick, convenient, and healthy. So the way that I composed meals was basically how Magnus describes it in his nutrition plan, where he does a fistful of protein, 2 fistfuls of veggies, and then a fist of slow carbs. So that's essentially how I'm structuring all of my meals. It is getting a little bit tiring to eat like this, especially because I don't have time to like make it super fancy all the time, make it interesting. But I have noticed that like I am never bloated. Like I don't have any kind of bloating. Yesterday I was at work and we were filming in the woods and I had dirt sprayed all over me for a shot. The shot turned out great, but I got eaten alive by oak mites. On the bright side, I don't really feel like I've been like bloated at all during this.
It is such an extreme thing to do when you do these big makeovers. So I'll leave that with you. You know your body better and your mindset and what, you know, your story, how your relationship with food. There are people that, you know, maybe shouldn't live too extreme because it's not good for them.
Yeah.
So you would know that better than me.
Okay, look, come here. Let's show them what you've got working on. Now let's, yep.
I'm feeling pretty jacked, and honestly, like my abs are coming.
Oh my god, don't look at her pimples. She has really bad belly pimples.
My oak might bite.
Oh my god! Holy shit! My god!
I think that's where I carry the least fat, so.
What?
Yeah.
That honestly scared me. I'm second guessing telling everyone that I could beat you up.
Week 3 of this program has been easy in some ways and hard in other ways. Easy in the fact that I'm pretty adapted to the program now. You know, I know what's coming, I'm used to it. And while this week has been difficult in the fact that rest time has been decreased for my workouts, I feel like my cardiovascular health is a lot better. I feel like I'm handling that really, really well, which is cool to actually be able to notice in such a short period of time. I'm actually really impressed with myself. Week 3 has been hard in the fact that I've been really stressed out, packing. I'm going to New York next week, which is the final week of this challenge. And you know, when you get tired, when you get stressed like that, the first thing that I feel like I want to give up on is fitness or food. But when I wake up and my agenda for the day is completely packed, like to the 15-minute increments, the first thing that I want to drop is going to the gym, dropping that hour and a half in the morning that I have to drive to the gym, work out, and come home from the gym. When I push through that in the morning and I just go and I get it done and I get that out of the way, my confidence in myself for the day is bigger, it's better, because I've accomplished something difficult in the morning, I have that faith in myself, and it gives me power to conquer other things during the day. And so you think you'd be super worn out, but in reality, it's just making me stronger. (9:14). We just got into New York from our trip. And you guys know what that means. I haven't worked out today because I got on the plane at 4 a.m. this morning and got to the airport at 4 a.m. So I have to go work out now and eat. Nutrition today, I ate clean, but I did not eat enough. Like even a minuscule, I probably have like 600 calories today. But I need to get in a workout, so I'm gonna go blast out this workout really quick and then try to go find some food that I can actually eat.
Everybody, when you're like, I don't want to go to the gym, take a look at my sister. We traveled all day, 2 connecting flights, and all she ate was lettuce, and we got in to the hotel at 9 p.m. and look at what she's here doing. Sticking to her diet, doing her workout. Honestly, I've never seen anything like it.
(10:07) on the clock. Just finished the first workout of vacation. Got another one tomorrow. We're just gonna have to get it done. It's kind of a crunch on time, but it's the last week of the challenge and we've worked way too hard to just let all that progress fall to nothing this week. So we're gonna keep grinding harder than we would have if we were in Springfield.
Yeah.
Because why not?
Yeah. Like,
omelet.
an oatmeal, you liar.
No sugar. Surprisingly, in New York, it was pretty easy to find a gym. My hotel had one. The only restriction due to COVID was just that I had to schedule in advance when I wanted to work out, which was kind of nice because like you can't talk yourself out of it if you have a reservation for something. The challenge with New York was the diet. I could not find hardly anything to eat that fit into my diet. I know the entire week I must have been in a very unhealthy deficit, which I'm not proud of, but the trip was go, go, go. It was a business trip. I was busy the entire time. I had things to do all day. And so I didn't have the kind of accessibility that I have here, where I have things prepped, I have things that I can grab and go. I didn't have any of that. So I was kind of just at the mercy of restaurants or wherever I went, and the options were slim. Pretty much anywhere I went, I just got chicken, like a chicken breast on a salad with the dressing on the side. And I can't even imagine how much of a calorie deficit I was in. I think it's interesting that people think of intense transformations for movie roles like this, and they immediately, their brains go to like restriction. Like you have to restrict yourself so you look cut and shredded. But it's like, no, my ideal outcome for this would be to put on a little bit of muscle and also lose a little bit of body fat so I look cut. In order to do that, I can't be restricting too much because I'm not gonna build muscle. As a matter of fact, my body might even lose some. So being in a calorie deficit like that was really, really stressing me out. It's so hard.
Last one. You're done.
No more sprints. I'm done. Okay guys, I just officially finished the Terminator program. Moment of silence for all the sweat, all the tears, all the missing National Ice Cream Day. But now it's time to play the numbers game. I have to go get my final DEXA scan, do my side-by-side results, so let's go look at numbers. Well, those 4 weeks probably felt pretty quick for you guys. They were probably the slowest of my life. That being said, they're done now and it's time to talk about results. This is a friendly reminder for you guys that physique is not everything in your life. And if you spend all of your life chasing after a certain type of body, you are in for an unsatisfying journey and a very disappointing realization. You have to learn to love yourself as you are. That being said, please respect my decision to try out these programs. I have a great time with it. I love the challenge. And as soon as I'm done, I go back to my regular eating and exercising habits. So we just go hard for a little short period of time and then everything goes back to normal, but I live for it. So that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the results. So starting out with my weight, it looks like my weight dropped from almost 130 pounds down to 125 pounds. To go a little bit more specific, looking at body fat, so it looks like I originally started at about 22% body fat, and it looks like that dropped about 1 percentage point. And while that might not seem like a whole lot in my overall body, it looks like I dropped 3% body fat in my upper half of my body. So that can be a good explanation for why I look much more muscular after the fact. Dropping that 3% in my upper half, I definitely look a lot more muscular because there is less fat hiding the muscle. Now you guys, this is where it gets a little disappointing. If you guys remember earlier how I told you that my goals for this program were to just kind of have fun with it, but ideally I would lose a little bit of body fat, I would gain a little bit of muscle, or at least stay in the same spot with muscle. I think that New York trip might have affected me a little bit more than I thought it did. Not eating had me losing a little bit of lean mass. Guys, my original lean mass was 95.4. And after my second DEXA scan, we are looking at 93.6 in lean mass. Lean mass doesn't directly mean that I lost muscle, but it is likely that muscle is some of the lean mass that I lost. I believe that due to the fact I was in such a heavy caloric deficit in New York, I think it really fucked me over for the end of the challenge, because that was a solid 5-day period where I was in a heavy deficit because I couldn't find anything to eat that fit my diet plan. While it's disappointing to see that number, this was overall a very interesting and informative experience. I'm excited to have learned about everything. It's exciting that I still did lose body fat, even though I did lose a little bit of lean mass, which is unfortunate and disappointing, but I'm not gonna be too hard on myself about it because there were a lot of things on my trip that I couldn't control. I'm proud of myself for sticking to the diet, sticking to the workout routine. I wish I had been able to find more food around to eat. This just gives me a lot of insight for whatever next workout challenge that I do. Even if I am traveling, I think maybe it would be a good idea to prioritize eating even if it's not necessarily included in my diet plan, just so that I can hit my calories. I want to give a big thank you to Magnus Lindenbach for meeting with me at the beginning of the challenge, giving me pointers and tips and kind of walking me through the program, showing me what to do and how to handle it. This experience was awesome. I truly feel like I could probably be a Terminator now. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you are new to my channel and you guys want to see more workout challenges like this, because you know I go hard with them, comment who you want me to train like next down below. These are my favorite things to do. They take up a lot of time, but they are the most rewarding things to put together for you guys. I hope that you all enjoyed it so much as I did. And I hope you guys learned a thing or two. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.